So hi, what's your name?
Hi, my name's Catherine Marquez. I turned 20 this year, August 7th. And how I became homeless, it was very ugly. It was very rough because I had family members who abandoned me because of their jealousy. They didn't really think that I was worth anything in this world, that I was going to amount to anything. And then when that happened to me, my homelessness, it didn't really traumatize me or faze me. I just knew what I had to do to survive. And then, I was walking around and I ended up in Venice and I was attending St. Joseph Center, the homeless service center. And then I would sign up for showers and meals. And it didn't really affect me as of like made me even sad or anything like that. I mean, I didn't
Really?
I didn't like the fact that I was homeless, but I just felt that I was more free. I was more in tune with the universe. I was like more close to nature, being around the trees, the sand, and meeting people because, I was cooped up mostly indoors. Wasn't really meeting people. I wasn't getting enough interaction with society, and it just really sucked.
Yeah. What was your living situation right before you got homeless? Who were you staying with?
Well, I was staying with my stepmom and my stepsister.
In LA or?
Yeah, in LA, in an apartment in Torrance, after I graduated high school. And my stepmom, she wanted to live with her boyfriend, and because he was living in Texas at the time, and so she moved to Houston, Texas, to be with her boyfriend. And then I didn't want to have any part of that, of being involved in her own little relationship life, And then she says, "Okay, you stay in here. I don't care if you're homeless, that's what happened." And so,
Had she had that like attitude your whole life? Like I don't care about you?
yeah,
Or was that like
she has actually, like, for how I was treated growing up and everything. I was abused, I was neglected, but something about me that I'm very strong,
Yeah.
Even when I was young as 2 years old, and if I was like when I was abused or anything, like, I have that fight in me that I'm defensive in a way, so that like most people they would be victimized, being abused, but with me, like, I'm a fighter. I was born a fighter.
What do you think it was that made you in such a way?
Being a fighter, like,
Yeah,
mentally.
do you think it was somehow how you were raised from the start, or like when you were like 1, 2, 3 years old? Or do you think it's like you're just born that way and it's just like genetic, or?
It is genetic, and yes, I was born that way because of my father, my biological father. He's not alive. He died when I was 7 years old. I mean, that's like the gene I have from him, and like, it's really cool because like daughter and father, like I got that dominant strength, fighting, defensive gene, that chromosome from my biological father. And it's so cool because to me, I think that's something special and rare, that like a man, like a father, had like given that chromosome and gene to his daughter, his firstborn. It's pretty awesome. And
Good heritage.
yeah, it actually is. And like, plus I'm also Cherokee, so I have that kind of like
Oh.
that like warrior.
100% or like half? Or?
Well, yeah, half. I have half of like, that fighting type of warrior Cherokee spirit, kind of like the movie The Pathfinder,
I haven't seen it, but I will look it up. Pathfinder, yeah.
But yeah, like, when I was growing up, I had that sort of defensive fighting spirit. Like, that's just how I was. I had that mentality that when I was young, like, if something was like happening to me that I didn't like, that wasn't right to me, if I was being abused, like, I'm a fighter, I became defensive, that like I wasn't going to let that happen to me. Even so, like with my stepmom, I don't know where my biological mother is, but like, with my stepmom, like the way that she is, like, it's kind of like going head to head, like butting heads, because she's the one that's jealous of me, and she knows that I have a potential, that like something that she wishes she has, and that she would tear me down just because she sees my father and my biological father in me, and she doesn't like that. She has that type of like animosity, hatred towards my biological father, and I really don't know why. But like me being a female and her being as a woman, like, it's kind of like she wants to compete with me. Like, she wants to compete who could be who could have a better life than the other, who could live a better life than the other person. Like, oh, I could do this better than you can, or like, just because you're homeless, like, that I tear you down for that. But like, within me, that does not really faze me. If anybody out here, were to make like a comment or like say anything, it's like, I know what kind of type of strength I have, and what type, like in my right mind, my mentality of like, I'm not gonna let that get to me, because I know like what I have, and I'm not gonna tell anybody like something special of like what I have that
It's enough that you know it.
Yeah, that I know it.
Yeah.
And
I think
so-
I'm a little bit like that too.
Yeah,
Maybe not as much as you though. So can I ask you? Okay, so how long have you been staying here?
I've been staying off and on again in Venice for 3 years,
And before that,
well, like before that,
like when did you become homeless the first time?
well, I became homeless in 2014. I became homeless, and
4 years ago.
yeah, and so it was because like the situation that my stepmom wanted to live with her boyfriend in Houston, Texas, because like the thing about her is that she really wants to live a lifestyle where she feels like she's young, like not having any children, not kids, and feel like she was more free and having freedom, like with no obligations, so that she can have a relationship with her boyfriend and and then she was trying to like get me involved and make him the father. It's like, you can't replace my dad. You can't replace him. And like she really didn't like that, so then she's like, screw you, and then she didn't really care that like I was going through the situation, like my struggles and my suffering on the street. But then like that's something that didn't get to me, even if it was when it was raining or the weather and like I was still out here, I still made it through. I remember this I think it was 3 years ago when I was standing in line in St. Joseph Center, and then it was pouring rain.
What is St. Joseph Center?
It's a homeless service center. It's on Rose,
Okay.
But yeah, I was standing in line and it was pouring rain. It was raining very hard, and then there was thunder and it was cold. But I stood there the whole time until they opened, and then they finally opened. And then that's when I took my shower. You see, that's the strength in me. Like I was able to get through that. Even when I used to stay on 3rd Street, 3rd and Rose, that I had to sleep under a tarp, but I still got through that. Even if if I were to mention to anybody, I don't want anybody to have sympathy for me. Like, oh, you poor little thing, It's like because I have like that fighting spirit.
Cool.
Like I have.
And there's a lot of people in apartments who doesn't have that, I guess, who are miserable. And in Sweden, for example, a lot of people are on antidepressants, and I think here too. I heard that 1/3 of the U.S. population was on antidepressants right now, and so.
Well, yeah.
So not every, yeah.
Well, not like that. I really hope the best for some people who are in that type of situation, because I was depressed when I was living indoors because my stepmom was trying to keep me from living my life and getting out in the world and meeting people and interacting with society, and she was being totally fake to people when she meets people. Like she was like putting on this appearance, like making people believe that she was an outgoing person, and she was hiding the real person, her true colors underneath, and so I got tired of that. That was like, to me, that was like a toxic type of relationship, and like that's something that like where I just had to be on my own and cut off all ties with her, because I know that like what she wants to live her own life. She like just with her boyfriend, like I want to do what I want to do, like never mind what I'm doing, just as long as I'm happy.
Yeah.
And like when I've been homeless outdoors, like I felt free and I felt happy, and like I've learned a lot from people that I've met and had socialized, and I have never panhandled. That's the thing, because I felt I was way better than that, because I had that.
What is panhandle?
When
I could guess, but.
Panhandling is that when you ask people for spare change and money, but then I've never done that out here during my homelessness, because I had that positive mentality that things were going to get better, and they did. They actually did. I mean, I know I'm not in housing, but I just feel like that.
How do you? Can I ask you? Sorry for interrupting. Can I ask you like how do you sleep? Do you sleep in a tent, or do you sleep like just on the street, like on the grass here, or?
Well, I sleep under the awning on the Candle Cafe and Grill at night.
Under the what?
Under the awning, you see that?
Oh, the blaze. Yeah. Okay. So where the orange chairs are?
Yeah, when they put up the orange chairs when they're closing, then like they put up the chairs, and that's where I sleep. I sleep under there, and like I don't feel like scared or anything. I feel I am very much so safe.
Is that because other people here also look out for you, or you're just like?
Because like I'm like with me, like I'm kind of like have that bravery and courage, like out of like an action film, like my senses and everything are open. It's like even if I was asleep, like I know I can wake up, when something is like around me that I can sense.
And did something happen? Like did someone come and bother you? Or?
No one came and bothered me, because like
not once for how many years? 3-4 years?
Yeah.
Really? That's awesome.
Really.
High five. That's cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's really awesome. And so Um, I do spells. I cast spells, and
On who?
well, not on anybody.
Okay.
That's something that I really don't do. But they're all positive white magic,
Oh, okay.
and so
I'm not familiar with those. So,
yeah.
okay, can you give us an example of how a spell can sound or?
Well, like a spell is like one of those it depends on what type of spell you're performing, that you have to focus your positive energy into creating and manifesting your desire into fruition, into a reality. Like for me, it's very consoling, like to have more comfort and self-emotional security while I'm out here, and that's what helped me through it all.
Yeah,
That's what really helped me through it, and it really did not, like nothing really affected that, like I wasn't affected like how my stepmom left me on the street, even from that time, like ever since then, that when I perform my spells to give me more self-emotional security, comfort, that is actually comfort me, then like to really strengthen my fighting spirit. Like I'm like like when things happen to me, like aggressively defensively assertive, meaning like I'm like aggressive in a way, but I wouldn't say brutal though. Like
Okay.
like I'm a fighter though. Like when I'm defensive, like I'm very aggressive when it comes to that. So even when I was like when I was young, when I was abused, that I would like fight back in a way. I fight back.
And then you're abused by your stepmom, or?
Yeah, I was abused by my stepmom, and then like she had a husband, he was my stepdad. He was abusive too, but like I was a fighter, and I didn't let that happen because he's not my real dad.
Yeah.
And like he cannot replace my real father, and I feel like that's what he was trying to do. But I'm a forgiving person. It's just that when you do certain things, like especially leave me out on the street and you don't care, that would make me very mad. It's like, yeah, I forgive you, but the thing is that for what you did was not okay, was unacceptable. And so like what I'm planning to do, that very soon, which I know in my mind's eye in the very near future, that I'm going to sue my stepmom for leaving me out on the street, because she had put my life in danger and not really care if I live or die, or not care about my life, not concerned like whatever would happen to me possibly, because how I feel is that she didn't really grasp that if somebody was homeless and you left them out on the street, possibly they could die or get murdered or raped and stuff. She knows that. It's just that she doesn't care.
So what's your intention with suing? Is it
It's
for the money? Is it for the statement of it? Is it for like rebuttal or whatever it's called, like revenge?
Well,
or
it's actually for the money, because I'm on Social Security, and that was not really enough to cover anything, of like for me to get an apartment or like that was like that wasn't enough for to support me. So like because before she moved to Houston, Texas, that she said that she was going to get me an apartment, and she didn't do that. All she did was just wasted time.
How did she become your? Sorry for interrupting again, but how did she become your stepmom? Like
my father met her. My father met her, and then like they were in a relationship, and things didn't go so well because she cheated on him with her second husband, who became my stepfather, and then she cheated on him with another man that worked at the same company, ExxonMobil.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then like I don't know if she's still with him though, but
So basically, you and your stepmom and your dad, when he died, you were staying together.
yeah, we were.
Yeah, okay,
We
and
were.
then she took over, so to speak.
Yeah, well, because she let it get to her head. She felt like, that I'm the one calling the shots and everything, and then like her jealousy was like palpable, it was really touchable towards me, because she's biased, and she denies things like that, and like that. I think that's one of the reasons why she left me out on the street, because she wanted to feel like she was better than me. I can really see it though. I can see it in her eyes. I can see it in her. It doesn't really matter. But then like this is me being honest about it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So what do you do here in the days now? When I met you here,
coloring. Yeah, this is something that keeps me occupied. It's like a heart stars with these are supposed to be the pearls, and this is supposed to be the diamonds, blue diamonds, and like the fuchsia diamonds and pearls on the back. You can't really see the white crown, but like maybe you can. Oh, it's not so cool. So it's like the same thing. I made like a hearts and stars, white and pink heart stars, because I like the combination of those colors, like the pink pearls, white diamonds, and white diamonds and white pearls.
Does that symbolize something? or pink
Yeah,
pearls and white diamonds?
like
I wouldn't know.
it's kind of like you know when you like a certain type of food and it makes you feel good, like you know with colors and like with shapes and certain things that you like I like jewelry, and I was thinking like the colors pink and white are a good combination, and like so is blue and fuchsia are good colors. Like colors make you feel a certain thing, like a positive type of energy, like it like has something to do with your mood, like colors. Like I don't know if you really believe that, but then like you know, colors to me, they have like an impact on my mood. You know, like pink.
Yeah,
Pink
yeah,
makes
no, I
yeah.
can feel that. Orange used to be one of my favorite colors, and I would have it in my bedroom, and it was like, yeah, I like it. Yeah. So, okay, how? Okay, so are you the only girl around here or staying here, or are there more?
No, there's more that like some of them are younger than me, some of them are older than me, are the same age as me, and like they're down there, and then like they hold up signs and they perform and they make tips for that, you know, and then also the coolest thing is
In what way do they perform?
they play music.
Okay.
They play music and they get tips. You know, I know
Okay,
that,
yeah.
and they play guitar and like you know, they people would give them money, you know, for that, and it was so cool.
Yeah,
And some
yeah,
people
yeah.
would sell things like you know, dream catchers or stuff that they made like jewelry. But like you know, I sold all my jars that I had that I created, and I got filmed for that. You know, twice. You know, I got filmed for that, and it was like
Jars? What do you mean with jars?
jars that like I created this thing with jars that they're a dream jar that they capture your dreams, and then if you want your dreams to come true you open the jar, and it had a tea light candle, and I sold all of those, and I made money with that, and I got filled with it because I had the sign that said dream of big dream jars, and I was selling them for $5, and then like you know when I was getting filmed, the people wanted to know like a little bit more about my jars, so I told them that like that like the jars that when the jars capture your dreams, and when you open the jars that they make your dreams come true, and like it was the sign dream of big dream jars.
Yeah, yeah.
That, because it was very interesting, and I was like that's so cool.
And then, like, did you do that for a while, or you just did it and it worked, and then you switched to something else, or?
Yeah, well, I did that, and you know, I sold all my jars, and I felt like that was already enough to get me through, you know, because that made me feel good, and I got like a positive result from that,
Yeah.
and it was excellent.
Cool, cool, right on.
Yeah.
So how do you now? Like, how do you buy your food? Do you get food stamps or something like that, or?
Well, I'm on Social Security. I get paid every third of the month, so I'm going to get paid on May 3rd, which is in 2 weeks. But you know, I still have a little bit of money from like my jars that I sold from
Cool.
last night.
How long ago was that? The jar?
That was 5 days ago,
Oh,
and
awesome.
it was really cool because you know I really enjoyed showing and presenting people you know my inventive ideas about the jars and giving them a little bit of imagination and ideas. And I even sold this really nice looking jar with a heart on it to this I think she was 3 years old. This girl. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. So do you think you're gonna do it again, or you know?
Well,
Sure.
I wanted to try something else, you know, like.
So what's your dream of dreams? Like, what would you do if you had $10 million? You could do whatever you wanted.
For $10 million, I would give to charity. I would give like some of the money to charity, and I would, you know.
Would you just give it away, or would you create like your own charity so you kind of knew where the money went?
Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, that is something that I would definitely do. Create my own, you know, charity. So
How would your charity look like? Who would you prioritize? What do you think is important?
Well, I think that for people who don't really who are less fortunate, who like the way that I think of it, like it's something that they don't have. Like say for example the hope, you know, the dream jars are like hope. I would like present something like that in that like in any kind of way, you know, that like it goes towards of that like raising money for hope, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because like even if whether you were homeless or not, but like you would still need hope, you know. It didn't really matter.
Yeah, hope is important.
Yeah, it is. And so like if somebody had a
And a
wish or
vision
something-
of something that is better, you know, like to be able to picture that and go for it.
Yes, like
Yeah.
like I was thinking about Make a Wish Foundation, you know, like
Okay, I'm not familiar with it because I'm from Europe, maybe, but please explain.
So yeah, Make-A-Wish Foundation is a non-profit organization for those who have a wish and like you know that they're in a situation like they have cancer or leukemia and they have a wish that like somebody would be able to make their wish come true. So like in
so someone, for example, maybe a kid made a wish, he wanted to meet Johnny Depp or something, and then Johnny Depp came to his hospital, that kind of thing.
Well, that kind of thing, but a little bit beyond that. You know?
Okay, like for example, give me an example from real life that you've seen someone making a wish about.
That if like what the way that I think about it is a little bit more out there, like something that is unusual.
Oh, you're
like
talking the one that you would create?
Yes.
Oh,
like
okay,
that,
okay.
That
I thought you were
I
explaining
would
Make-A-Wish
create, right.
Foundation.
So it's like similar to Make-A-Wish Foundation, but it's a little bit out there beyond that of like with people, you know, wishing for like Johnny Depp or whatever. It's like,
yeah. No, that was just something I saw on YouTube.
Well, yeah, I know.
But so, okay, what would your wish be now if you could make a wish for something?
Well, it's very cool. So I would wish, you know, to live in the 1980s because I watch 1980s films like Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Like if I was 15 in 1981, if I was going to school, that like how my life would be going to school in the 1980s and stuff. You know?
All right.
Now that is something that
That's awesome, but like, okay. Can you also add a wish that is doable with the kind of technology we have to our disposal today?
Okay.
I'm just like curious now.
Well,
I'm not gonna be able to grant it, but
I
I'm
know,
just
I know.
yeah.
But like my wish would be to invent something like an old school technology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that type of thing.
What do you mean old school technology?
Like something from the 1940s, like 1940s technology, because you know.
You want to like reinvent it, or?
Yes, I want to reinvent technology.
Okay.
Yes, that's something that's interesting. So that's something that is possible